Alright guys, on the last video I did about the Koenigsegg Satosphere, I talked about the absolute Jesco and the attack Jesco already being fast enough and not feeling like Koenigsegg needed to. I felt like they could just sit back and, for a little bit longer before they dropped the Satosphere. But you know what? They thought they needed to drop the Satosphere now. And so they did. And the Satosphere is faster than the Jesco. Well, Bugatti and Rimac, well, they're a company together now. Rimac just dropped a new version of the Nevera, and guys, 23 records was not enough for Rimac, so they went ahead and captured the 24th. And it's so funny because they took that 24th record away from Koenigsegg themselves. Now, if you know anything about Koenigsegg and Bugatti, they've been going at this record thing for a long time. This is not a new battle they've been going back and forth. So it's so funny to see that Koenigsegg now have to deal with a merger between Bugatti and Rimac, now working together to create, just take records away from Koenigsegg. It'll be interesting to see how it shape up, guys. But leave a like and subscribe on this channel, guys. We gotta get into this video today. And thank you. So if you like me and you've been following Rimac actually from the beginning, because guys, believe it or not, I don't think Rimac is that old of a company. One of the interesting things I find about EVs is honestly they allow these new companies to come in and just shake things up in ways that combustion never allowed them to. I mean, I think there's more new companies since the invention of EVs than I could remember in my whole lifetime. I don't remember a car manufacturer coming out. I think I'm gonna do a video on that in the future, guys. But I like to kind of focus in on the Rimac here because Rimac came out in 2016, and from 2016, I remember them delivering their first prototype car to a customer. Like that was like a year later or something after Rimac set some records. And then I remember them right around COVID season, we had merging with Bugatti, and then they dropped the Rimac Nevera. And honestly, the Nevera came out and broke 23 records all in a straight line. 23 records is a lot. I think we all could have agreed that when it comes to accelerating overall, Rimac is probably the fastest hypercar out there when it comes for acceleration. And then they had a version of that Rimac. I think it was like a circuit edition, something like that. And that ran like 7.5 around the Nürburgring. Guys, it was showing that that chassis could become extremely fast even around the track. Now that car was like 5,100 pounds. So 7.5 that it ran was for me extremely impressive. Now there's a company called Xiaomi. We did a video on that car, guys.
Xiaomi SU7, the one we could buy in the store. That one actually did the time in 7 minutes and 4.9 seconds. That was the official time that dethroned the Porsche, making the Xiaomi the fastest electric sedan to ever conquer that track.
That came out of nowhere. Another car that's able to come out thanks to EVs, new company, and just make a car going fast. I think it ran like 7.4, so slightly faster. But yeah, they're able to make these cars that in a way that combustion engine never allowed new people to dabble in. And so yeah, it became the. I think that's now the fastest EV around the Nürburgring. It would be interesting to see if Rimac could go back in and try to capture that record. But the Nevera R, guys, that one just captured the 0 to 400 kilometers back to zero. That's the equivalent of 0 to 249, 250 ish, back to zero. Uh, so that's more test your acceleration combined with your braking, and that shows that Rimac is serious, guys, about just having the most G-force that you can feel in a car. They want you to go fast, taking off, and they want you to stop fast. And I mean, honestly, some of the records that in the acceleration is crazy. The 0 to 60, 166, like the quarter mile in under 8 seconds is again those are mind-boggling numbers for a production car, guys. It's not that the Nevera was slow. I mean, it was like what 3/10 slower already in the low eights. So running it in under eight, it's I mean the standing mile in 19 seconds. Like when I hear things like I can't even like put together what that feels like. You know what I mean? That's to me what makes a hypercar. Like they have some of these numbers you can't even. It just blows your mind up. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think. I mean, do you think Koenigsegg and Koenigsegg and Rimac now have a new battle, or do you think Koenigsegg and Bugatti is gonna just keep their battle for the top speed records, and they're just gonna keep going back and forth?
There it is, ladies and gentlemen, the world record Koenigsegg Gear RS. There you guys have it. On the 4th day of November 2017, Koenigsegg is officially the Hypercar King. We came for one record and we grabbed two today. World record top speed 277.9 miles per hour and 0 to 400 back to zero in 33.87 seconds. I think it's pretty obvious. Koenigsegg, the Ghost Squadron, they are the Hypercar King.
Right now, I feel like Koenigsegg is getting jumped, and they're not gonna like it because I'm telling you, Koenigsegg, they'll fight, they'll do battle, they'll keep dropping stuff and put pressure on these other companies to yeah, now you beat that, because them and Bugatti been going at it for a long time. I mean, I remember the Agera from Koenigsegg, and then even some of the unofficial times, like people say, Koenigsegg, that those times wasn't official. It still got Bugatti looking, and I'm sure this merger with Rimac was a move to like in the future. I think you're gonna start seeing some versions of even the Rimac that's a top speed monster. Um, so yeah, guys, I'm really impressed with what I'm seeing from the Rimac, even though it's a heavy vehicle. I think it's gonna recapture the Nürburgring time. I'll be interested to see that in the future. Leave a like and subscribe if you want to stay up to date on news like this, because I will be following at least on the Nürburgring time. It's what really I'm interested in. And yeah, guys, we'll be following all this news and keeping you up to date. Thank you.